Okay, so stop real quick. I'm going to need to get into a couple things before we start the video. First, why don't you follow my social medias? You'll see Twitter right there, Instagram right there, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. Let's get into the video. Alright, so in this video, I'm kind of just going to be recapping how I did in the tournament. I'll leave my voice on some parts that I was already recording during the tournament, and I'll kind of voice over what's going on in each situation here. So here we're just trying to get something going. We're down 2-0. I'm just trying to find pitches down the middle, find mistake pitches, and kind of capitalize on those. That's going to bring up Hanley here. He necessarily didn't give me any pitch I really wanted until this at bat. And I wanted that pitch, couldn't get to it. But he made a mistake by not throwing that again. I guess because it was... he missed it on his part. And he wanted to not throw that again. But he ended up leaving a slider down the middle. And just ignore this feedback. And ignore me clapping at that feedback. But, I mean, I just hate playing that shit anyway. So, unrewarded hits are not my thing. So, I tried to throw a cutter back door there. It didn't end up working out. Sometimes backdoor works, sometimes it doesn't. That's just the nature of it. We're going to be facing Diedrich here, and we're going to get a nice little strikeout with a sinker there. In this play right here, Hanley, I don't know, man. He's just not good short. Maybe a third baseman, maybe, but his just reactions and everything is just off. He'll still play, like, I guess, somewhat reliable defense there, but it's not really worth it. And then Correa, he really turned up during this tournament. He was getting a bunch of rallies going. And then we hit one deep with Hanley there, and we just missed. We were pretty early on it, so it's understandable. We didn't go with the pitch, so. But I want to leave y'all with my voice for this one.
Oh yeah!
Nolan Jones was clearly the tournament MVP for me in just game one. He established himself in just game one. And then Acuna going to add on. I love Ronald Acuna's card, man. It's just so good. His swing is just so comfortable. However, Chapman, overarching theme in this tournament was me giving up leads. So I'm going to go back into the lab, work on some pitching, try to get better. But if you notice, Chapman is going to be the culprit in most of these comebacks. He could not handle himself. I don't know whether it was me trying to figure out his pitching motion or whatnot, but he just could not get it done. Osuna the same way, and I usually do well with Osuna. But Osuna's going to give a tie game here by leaving it right down the middle. And he ended up taking advantage of that. And I actually faced some really good opponents this whole tournament, and I didn't even get a home game, so... Glaber's going to drop one deep there. He's not really going to get it out. We were early on it again, but yeah, it was good.
Well, I'll show y'all this. You'd like to be in 2-0.
Goodbye.
You're going to turn it loose right here.
Here's a
Let's
fly
go,
ball,
Mickey.
well hit. Bellinger looking up, and they have taken the lead.
And Mickey came alive a little bit during the tournament as well. Not as much, but he did come alive, so we'll see how we use him in ranked seasons. We throw an absolute dot of a pitch there. And we now got 2 outs. Got to lock it down. 3-2 count the cargo, and we're going to end up getting out of that. So we're going to move on to the next game here, and I actually forgot to record halfway through. But the reason we have such a big lead in this game, we actually had Gary Sanchez hit a grand slam in like the 2nd inning, and that's what pretty much gave us the lead during this whole game. An overarching theme, like I said, we just ended up giving up a lot of leads. Chapman, he's just so wild, man. He'll be good 1 second and bad the next for me. But I needed a lefty reliever, so I decided why not try him out. 6-4 game here, 2 outs, 2 runners on base. Have to get out of it, and Chapman is going to be facing Josh Bell's weaker side. So that's what I really wanted. That's why I kept Chapman in, no matter how bad or good I've been pitching with him. And we saw that he was early on that slider, but maybe he'll expect it again because it was just sitting down the middle. So we're going to go ahead and put that on the inside corner, and he could not catch up to it. This is what the teams are going to look like. Kluber versus Kluber again. Or Kluber versus Kluber matchup. Nolan did it again. I mean, he was just ridiculous this whole tournament for me. And then Hanley up. Wrong runner on. Hanley, he ended up getting... His no-doubter is pretty nice too, but it's just that defense, man. His offense can do what it does, but... And then Nolan, again. I mean, at this point, I was locked in with Nolan. I was literally just saying, don't pitch to him. You will regret it. So we brought in Kyle Wright, because I'm a pretty comfortable pitcher with him. Why Hanley wants to play bad defense, I don't get it. I don't get it. And we tried to throw a changeup below the zone. He actually got really onto this pitch. Yeah, so. We're going to bring up Chapman against Tatis. We end up getting out of it, thankfully. And it's a 5-2 game. We're going to bring up Hanley. We're behind on that fastball. And this time he takes the opposite approach. And so did we. 7-2 game. No way it can go wrong, right? You'd be wrong. Because not only did this ball get good okayed and it did not go out, and he caught it, this was start a downturn. Chapman leaves a slider hanging. 7-4 now. We're in the last inning. Thought he swung. He got a good check swing. Thought we located that. He didn't even swing. Now we're facing Glaber. Osuna trying to get out of trouble.
That's a dot. Let's go.
We did get out, but Osuna would continue to struggle, and we'll have to switch him out because of that. And because of that. Sadly, he didn't swing at that. It's now a 7-6 game. Now, I want to go through this. I slowed down the clip for y'all. Now that I think about it, could I have possibly turned 2? Maybe, but there was no need to risk it. Because if I don't get it, it's just going to be bases loaded. Ended up being bases loaded anyway because I should have used Lodolo instead of Blake Snell. Don't know what I was thinking there. But we also do the same exact pitch, get the same exact result. He just pulls it this time. Couldn't get it done. We end up losing. He sent his runner home. It is what it is. I hope y'all enjoy it. I'm out.